with Darion. I am your host, Darion of Sports Talk with Darion. And I thank everyone for coming in and being a part of this live play by play. Not really live play by play, but we're gonna get this thing started real quick. So just give me a second. I want to make sure we all good on the live stream. So let me just do this here and edit it and do what I need to do to be a part of this. Um, all right. Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. So, uh, and I'm waiting for Brian Snow to come up here. For some reason, I don't know why. Can you hear me, Snowman? Because for some reason, I can't hear you. We're trying to have we're working on some kinks here. We're working on some kinks here. So just give me a second. Let me see. Yeah, it's on my speakers for some reason. I can't hear you, Snowman. Can't hear you. Oh man. I guess he's trying to figure out his audio. So I'm gonna just remove him from the scene real quick until I can actually see his face. But I'm gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna get straight into it, man. Welcome back to Sports Talk with Darian. It is that time of the year when high stakes are high and the pressure is on. The bold predictions, we are about to fly through them. We are diving headfirst into the NFL college football playoff where legends are made and dreams are shattered. Now, listen, we are not playing it safe here. Me and Snowman are not playing it safe here. This is where we go above and beyond, where the rankings or the so-called experts are bringing bold, spicy, or even controversial takes. From the underdog upsets to breakout performances, we got predictions here that will have you on the edge of your seat, questioning your sanity and my sanity as well. So whatever you're doing right now, you rolling with your favorites or you run with your underdogs. Strap in and get ready because it's NFL and college football playoff time is about to get it together. And let's kick it off, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to do all this extra stuff, but offstage sounds is affecting only on your end. Okay, that's fine. But we're going to talk, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about some things here in the NFL. We got some NFL news, a lot of NFL news. But if you're watching or listening anywhere across the world, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook Sports Talk with Darian. When it comes to YouTube, Sports Talk with Darion Hopkins. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're listening to the audio version of this on Apple, Spotify, um, Apple Music, everywhere a social media platform that lets you have a podcast is right here on the Sports Talk with Darian. All social media platforms. You can do Amazon Music. You can listen there, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. You name it, we have it. We are live on Snowman Multimedia as well, which will Snowman come in a couple of seconds. But we're going to get straight into it and dive right into some football here because it's Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. There's no Thursday night football. There's no Thursday night football. There's no college football right now. We have a lot to talk about. A lot of news came out when it comes to the NFL divisional rounds. A lot of news came out about NFL coaches as well. We're going to talk about the wild card winners and losers and how the winners can be capable of making it to the Super Bowl. And which wild card team do you think that we can actually think that could go to the Super Bowl? Now, we have some wild card losers on. It's a lot of things that you got to question. You got to question a lot of things, especially with the wild card weekend losers. What would the Vikings do with Sam Darnold? What would the Steelers do in a reset? How would they embrace that? And we have a lot of talk about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. About them. We're gonna talk about, are the Lions unbeatable? Will the Bills get over the hump? On this episode of Sports Talk with Darion Hopkins. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So make sure y'all come on in, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share the live, tell a friend, and we're here with this podcast. But let's talk about it real quick. A few things that came down. Now, this is the recent news that just came out of the NFL, according to NFL.com, saying that Kevin O'Connell wants to sign a contract extension. He loved being the Vikings head coach. Now, this is pretty interesting to me when it comes to Kevin O'Connell. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm going to say this and I'm going to say this only. Kevin O'Connell, you want to sign back with the Minnesota Vikings for all the success you had in 2024. The Vikings campaign in a massive disappointment in two dreadful outings for your hero quarterback, Sam Darnold, which he played terrible in week 18 against the Detroit Lions, and he played terrible in the playoff game. The conclusion has produced a fresh set of questions regarding Minnesota outlook as ventures into 2025. Now, is Sam Darnold a part of the Vikings' plans? Or where does the 2024 round, the first round pick, J.J. McCarthy, where he's going to go? And where that's going to fit him? But as a head coach, Kevin O'Connell, are you here for the long haul in Minnesota? That's the biggest question. Because first up, O'Connell's future has just 1 year remaining left on his current deal. We all know that. And according to Kevin O'Connell, he says when he asks if he wants to sign an extension with the Vikings, he said he loves the great dialogue that he has with the ownership. And this week, in the reflection as the season came to an end and everything and beyond, that would be preferred to kind of keep those discussions internal. But Kevin O'Connell declined to give a timeline when he was willing to sign that extension. But he did ask if rumors are possible, internal tension are legitimate, which that's pretty interesting to talk about. He would say that he loved being a head coach for the Minnesota Vikings, Kevin O'Connell said. He said he loves the ownership. He has a great relationship with the ownership. And it feels so fortunate that he said not the only way to support us and believe in us, but also the impact that he had on the players, the locker room, and ultimately where he wants to go. Very, very great about that. So, Kevin O'Connell. Now, I don't mind you being the head coach for the Minnesota Vikings. I think you are a good head coach for the Minnesota Vikings, in my personal opinion. I think you are. But you have to figure it out. You got to figure out how to win. And Brian Snow said that he is here, but I don't see you, Brian Snow. I don't see you in the background. I don't see you at all. But we're going to get back to Kevin O'Connell and we're going to talk about what he had to say. And I think we have some breaking news here. No breaking news. No breaking news. I thought we did. But Kevin O'Connell is a guy that I do like as a head coach for the Minnesota Vikings. He just chokes in bad times. He chokes in bad times when you really needed it. You went 14-3 this year. On top of that, you had a chance to get the number 1 seed and have home field advantage going through Minnesota. But you go into week 18 and you ish the bed so badly that we don't even know what the market value is for Sam Darnold at this point. Now, Kevin O'Connell, you went out there, and I'm about to add Brian Snow to the scene. Hopefully we got him. And we do. Can you speak for me real quick, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
All right. We got it here, Mr. Brian Snow of Snowman Multimedia. I know you tried to do the green screen thing. I guess it didn't work out. I think you're still trying to learn this thing, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn this. The green screen was working when I was practicing, but when I tried to do it here live, it didn't work. That's okay.
You'll
My
figure
wife,
it out.
my wife is figuring out a way to make that wall a sports wall for me. So I
Okay.
won't need this doggone screen anymore. So I'm good. And the latest item that came in featured my favorite basketball player of all time, and of course, I mean Michael Jordan.
Of course. The GOAT.
So
The GOAT
the
himself.
GOAT. So she came in. Yes, she came in yesterday, and she says, "I have a present for you." I said, "What's that?" I'm here typing, and the next thing I know, she lowers this picture of Michael Jordan flying through the air in front of me, and I stop. She said, "You know this is going on your wall, right?" "Yes, ma'am."
I just want to say what's up to everybody in the chat. I want to say what's up to everybody. Shout out to Freddie Henderson. Shout out to Capitan Rafancho. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? What's up, Prescott Kelly? I know you in here. Michael, what's going on the com, man? What's up, OG? What's up with you? Yes,
What's up,
Michael
Con
Jordan,
man?
who's that? Don't start that stuff. Don't start that stuff, man. Don't start that.
See, me and Freddie gonna have a fight. See, me and Freddie gonna have a fight. It's like Victor says on the morning show with me. We're not gonna box. We're not gonna slap box. We're not gonna do any shadow boxing. No, we gonna fight.
Right.
Okay.
Right. We're definitely
we
going to
gonna
fight there.
we gonna fight. All right.
But I was talking about Kevin O'Connell
Uh-huh.
possibly wanting an extension.
He'll get that extension on one condition.
No link tonight. Listen, I've been asking for. Listen, Snowman has been my co-host for a while. Okay, so I'm telling you right now, Freddie. I'm gonna let you know now. I'm gonna keep it funky with you, brother. Is that we're not gonna do this debate tonight. We're not gonna do it for another
Nope.
day, for another time.
There ain't no debate anyway. The guy who originated number 23 is the best in the business. End of talk.
Enough said. Enough said. But like we was just talking about that Kevin O'Connell, he said that he wants to remain the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Because I wanted to talk about that real quick. I think that was the most latest news that I've heard personally.
There are
when it
two
comes to-
things that'll keep Kevin McConnell afloat in Minnesota. Sam Darnold goes, JJ McCarthy heals. Period.
Okay, so my thing is this though. You go with JJ McCarthy
Yes.
after the knee injury?
Yes. If Steve Young can come back from it and have a 13-year run in San Francisco, then dadgummit, JJ McCarthy can do the same thing in Minnesota.
Now my problem with it is I like him. I do. I like JJ McCarthy.
Look, I can
I'm
see
not.
the butt
I'm
the size.
my,
I
my
can see the
problem
butt
with
in your sentence the size of the Metrodome. I can see the butt. I can see the butt coming in your sentence the size of the Oakland Coliseum, the former home of the Raiders.
don't know. I like JJ McCarthy. I really think he's going to be a good quarterback.
And
But
there we go.
you have a old running back, which you have to get in the draft, in Aaron Jones, that can't stay healthy. That's one. Number two, JJ McCarthy can't pull what Sam Darnold did on Monday Night Football against the Rams and get sacked 9 times.
No.
So now for me, I'm questioning the offensive line. Like,
As you should question the offensive line.
do I really want to put JJ McCarthy out there with that offensive line?
Listen, the offensive line laid 2 big eggs. One that cost them the Central Division Championship and the other that cost them the wild card game against the Rams. Fix the offensive line, allow JJ McCarthy to heal, you're fine. And Sam Darnold needs to hit the road anyway.
Now, Prescott Kelly did say, because he said it in the comments here, I could pull it up real quick, and he says, if JJ is bad, McConnell can say it was the first year after the injury. NFL, what do you want me to do? And still gets it by time. Right.
He's correct. He's correct.
He's absolutely correct.
Okay, Freddie, I'm gonna sock you in the throat.
I'm not. I'm ignoring Freddie. I'm ignoring Freddie because
Freddie said I've been ducking his smoke for years.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, Snowman, ignore it.
How can I duck smoke when I stand 6 feet 5 inches tall?
Don't even feed into Freddie. He's trolling.
I know he is.
Absolutely.
I know he is. You know, I'm waiting for my wife to walk through this door with dinner, and then I'm gonna have her troll right back. You've been on with me when I do Colts games, and you slide through a couple times, and you heard Dr. K say something, okay?
Enough said.
Don't And I mean this very playfully. Don't have me get Dr. K in on the conversation.
I'm not sending you no link because you see my social media for months now.
Yes.
You see my social media for months now, but now you want smoke. No, I'm not ducking no smoke. You've been ducking smoke since I've been trying to get this thing
Look,
going. So
look,
we're not.
Freddie been in the smoke.
No,
Freddie been
no,
in the smoke longer than you
I'm not
can't
running
see.
from anything, brother. I'm not running from anything.
I'm not running but
I
we're not doing this tonight.
But I did say this though, like, I was like, okay, where's the co-host at? Like, where, like, 'cause I know you be busy, so it'd be hard for
Yep.
you to come on. So I'll be sitting there like, okay, I'm looking for, a co-host until Snowman has time.
Right.
But did you see my social media? You could have been up here.
In a minute, because I had to take 3 months off because of my health.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
I had to heal, you know? And I've been sitting in the chair for about 2 years now while I get my legs back under me. I was in a wheelchair for 7 months. I had to take that time off, right? And I've still been here. So, let's move on. He ain't worth
Right.
the he ain't worth the smoke nor the cigarette where it came from.
Facts. Facts. And I'm just trying to figure out what is going on my camera right now because I'm looking at the live feed and it's like mad blurry, which I
It
don't
is pixelated,
yeah,
man.
I don't know why is pixelated
Well,
like that.
you know why. You started talking facts about the Vikings, and they don't like and they don't like facts. All right, they went 14-3 on the season. You can compare that to the time they went 15-1 and late and the bed. So Viking fans are getting mad. You know what? Let me mess with Darian for a little bit. I haven't had a chance to co-host with him for a while. You know what? You know what they want Darian to do? The Vikings and Vikings fans, God help them and God bless them, especially Paul Allen, their legendary play-by-play boys, want
Right.
Darian to think about the Vikings and what they need to do. So what do? They give him this.
Oh, here we go again. On that note, let me go back out and come back in on that note.
All
I'll
right.
be right back.
Okay. Now, while I'm sitting here waiting for Darian to come back, let's stay with the Minnesota Vikings. They need a young bell cow running back because Aaron Jones did not handle the job the way he was supposed to handle the job. Let me turn this light on here.
All right, so
Oh, there you go. Much better. Much better.
all right. I should be good now.
Yeah, that should do it. That should do. Hey, nice hairstyle, man. I like it.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you to the
I
to
like it.
to the wifey. She been having my hair grow out and
Oh,
everything.
wifey hooked you up? I love it.
Yeah, wifey hooked me up.
Hey, wifey hooked me up with this. I threw it on this.
That
I
is a
threw it
dope
on this
sweater.
morning.
I'm not going to lie. That's definitely a dope sweater.
This is Dr. K's doing. If you see something crazy and I'm sporting it with pride, you know that's Dr. K's doing, right?
Right. But let's get down to the nitty gritty of things because I definitely want to get into the divisional playoff. But
Yeah, because the wild card sucked.
oh, those live streams suck, man. Them games was outside of
Listen,
Commanders and the
I want my
Buccaneers.
listen.
That was the
When it
best
came
game
to
of the wild
Baltimore and
card
Pittsburgh, when it came to Baltimore and Pittsburgh, I want my 3 hours back.
weekend.
I wasn't even scheduled to do that game. But Jody was not feeling well. And I said, I said, baby, I can stay here until you're okay. She says, no, go ahead and do the game. I'll watch it from here and y'all will be able to hear me anyway. I'm okay. Okay, cool. Because she's not like out front like I am. So it'll take her a while to get used to everything. Man, Derrick Henry got going. And the next thing I hear from my Dr. K is, what the was that?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was a terrible wild card weekend. Commanders and
Except
Buccaneers was
for
the best wild card
listen,
game on that slate.
except for the Buccaneers and the Redskins, in which the Redskins won in a walk-off doink That should tell you everything you need to know about the Chicago Bears and their luck with kickers,
Yeah, that part.
right?
That part. Mhm. That part. But
I mean, if the
but
Redskins can win on a walk-off doink, explain 2018 to me and Cody Parkey.
anything Chicago Bear related, I don't even want to talk about it because they curse. They're like the Raiders. They just curse. we're just cursed at the moment. So, but
That's because y'all are not in Oakland or Los Angeles. Because as we had the discussion offline, SoFi Stadium wasn't built for the Rams and the Chargers. It was
it was
built for the
built for
Rams
the
and the
Raiders. It
Raiders.
definitely was built for the Raiders.
It was built
Absolutely.
for the Raiders. The Raiders would have that thing in a black hole quicker than you can blink.
That's a fact. Even
All right.
when we go play at SoFi Stadium, even
If
when
you
we
go play,
go there,
if
we
y'all
black
had
it out. We
listen,
literally black it out.
if y'all had SoFi Stadium as a home, okay, just like the Los Angeles Coliseum back in the 80s, it would be a black hole, period.
Facts.
There would be no seats left in the house. Everybody be wearing black and shoulder pads with spikes in it just because. Right? The sideline reporters would have to go through hell in a handbasket because the fans would be yelling so doggone loud. And I had the pleasure of seeing Oakland Coliseum in its football configuration.
I have to.
And you know it's louder than hell.
Facts.
SoFi Stadium was built for the Rams and the Los Angeles Raiders. Period.
Yes, take them back to San Diego. Take the Chargers. Take the iPod Chargers to the San
Chargers need to
Diego.
go. The Chargers need to go back home to San Diego. The city of San Diego needs to welcome them and tell Spanos, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Right?
Right.
Ever since Spano had been in charge of the San Diego Chargers, I will never call them Los Angeles Chargers because it don't fit. Because when I was growing up, they were the San Diego Chargers. Okay, since Spanos has been in charge, this has been the result of the San Diego Chargers.
I was waiting on that too.
And sometimes you think, "Are you kidding me?" Find the lie.
Find a lie. But okay, since we're on the NFL, because I was going to try to wait for the NFL predictions, but let's talk about a segment that I thought was pretty interesting, right?
All right.
Now, in the 2025 NFL playoffs, why each wild card
playoff? Wait. Jim Mora did it best.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Shout out to the legendary Jim Mora for that one. Okay.
Exactly. Shout out to the legendary Jim Mora. But to me, why each wild card winner is definitely capable of making a Super Bowl run, including the Commanders, Texans, and Rams. And I looked at this, and shout out to Jordan DeJohnny from CBS Sports, saying that that wild card week is in the books, and we're off to the division round. This is what the magic happens in NFL football. The divisional round, AFC Championship, Super Bowl. Wild card is always going to be the wild card, but the divisionals is always drama. Conference championship is always drama.
Yep.
But I don't know why, but the thing about what really kind of got me was like, he said the Houston Texans upset the Los Angeles Chargers.
That wasn't an upset.
How is that an upset, in my opinion? The Texans won the division.
Listen, that was not an upset.
Says it.
You know why people want to call it an upset? Because the people in Las Vegas want to call it an upset because they gave the Chargers the points.
That's right.
Man, Houston kicked them square in the ass.
But they have but with this one here, it says that every team in here could possibly win the Super Bowl in one way. The Houston Texans is the first one on the board, and they said the defense is the reason why the Houston Texans can make it to the Super Bowl. And I absolutely agree with that, even though that CJ Stroud and Nico Collins always headline the Houston Texans when it comes to the offense, especially with Joe Mixon. But if you want to be honest, according to CBS Sports research, it does say the Texans are the first team since the Ravens Super Bowl, the first one to be exact, allowed to sub 45% completion percentage while recording 4 interceptions and 4 sacks in a playoff game. They're the first team since
Come on
that
now.
2000 Ravens did it.
You're facing Justin Herbert.
I
Okay?
get that. I get that, but this
You're facing the Los Angeles Chargers and
I
not the
get that.
San Diego Chargers.
I get that, but this defense has been built through the draft and a little bit of free agency for the
True.
Houston Texans, and that defense has been holding them. The defense is the reason why they won the damn division. Let's just be
Quite
real.
true. Yes. Because the offense hadn't held up their end of the bargain.
Exactly.
And this weekend, this offense is going to get punched in the mouth.
Exactly. So
they're gonna get sucked in the mouth. I look. I love you, CJ Stroud. I love what you're doing, and I love what DeMeco Ryans is doing with the Houston Texans. But come on now.
So
To be the champs, you must unseat the champs. And who are the Texans facing this weekend? The champs.
Let's be honest with you, though. Do you really think that this whole winning streak for Kansas City is going to last in the playoffs? I don't think so. The offense looked mediocre all year for the Kansas City Chiefs. It looked mediocre all year. The defense can be exposed for the Kansas City Chiefs. They are beatable. And you look at all those
They were
games
beatable
that they
last
won,
year.
all
They
those
were
games that they
beatable.
won, they barely won because the refs had on red stripes instead of black stripes. Simple as that.
You stupid.
We know this. Anybody in the comments can
Why do you think I'm laughing? Why do you think I'm laughing? But come on, I am being as real as I am. All right? There's a simple saying that I use all the time. Refs or not, to be the champs, you must unseat the champs. Houston has a hell of an
They will be
opportunity.
seated. They see. I mean, in my prediction, I did pick. Which I'm gonna get to. Which we will get to that. But
Let's save the predictions.
Yeah, bro, calm down. You're getting angry for no reason. I'm not getting angry for no reason.
Whoever said this said Darion, this ain't angry.
This ain't
You want angry?
Wait a minute. This ain't angry. Go watch the Raiders play-by-plays that I did.
Thank you. I was just gonna point that out. Y'all want to see angry, which I had the chance to do before I did a Colts game. Check out Darion when he does play-by-play, and the Raiders make a stupid play, and he goes completely berserk.
Right.
All
so
right?
that's a different story.
Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt and the pumpkin, thanks to my Dr. K, because I go berserk when the Colts do something stupid. Okay, y'all want to see Darion go off? Check him on a play-by-play stream.
Facts. So they did say the Houston Texans the possibility that they could be capable of going to the Super Bowl if they defense play at a higher level. But now they said the Baltimore Ravens is the reason why they can possibly get to a Super Bowl and make a Super Bowl run because of that rushing attack. Now, I'm 100% agreeing here. I mean, they had 300 rushing yards on the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers anyway. We all knew they was going to come in here and lose this game. Everybody knew.
Did we not say that, Darren? Did we not, D-Hop? Did we not say that live?
Yes.
Did we not predict that live on my show on our Football Friday before the wild card weekend?
Yeah.
Did we not all sway to the side of the Ravens because we knew they were going to punch the Steelers in the throat?
Because Derrick Henry, man, he was a dog. I mean, 26 touches, 186 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Lamar picked up 81 yards on 15 carries. Like, Henry set the NFL record with his third playoff game, recording 175 rushing yards, passing Terrell Davis of the Denver Broncos. That did take one game to set the Ravens franchise record for the most rushing yards in the playoff game.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. I once we get to our predictions, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think out of all the teams that's in the league right now, outside of the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles have the best running games in football. Enough said.
I agree.
I just like it, but
I agree.
they said the Buffalo Bills with the efficient, multifaceted offense. Now, this was pretty interesting to me. Because you got to think about the Buffalo Bills in this situation, right? They they showed Sunday they could be a top 10 rushing defense and not defense offense. They could be a top 10 passing offense. Even
Yep.
though in what they did to the Broncos, which was ranked overall number 1 in the league in defense, in yards allowed.
Yep.
They with the receivers with Shakir and the rookie Coleman and the tight ends with Kincaid and I think Dawson Knox and Jared Cook, one of the probably the most underrated running back in the playoffs.
Yep.
I really love the Bills offense going into Baltimore against that defense. I cannot wait to see it. I cannot wait to see it. I think that's going to be a
I
game.
will tell you, this game will remind me of a divisional playoff that I saw in 1990, January of 1991, when Jim Kelly and the Bills hosted Dan Marino and the Dolphins.
Mhm.
There was 78 points. There were 956 total yards. There was a ton of snow, and both teams did not care because they were still throwing the football all over the place. Both quarterbacks had 300 yards.
Facts. It's going to be a cold game, and shout out to Anthony. He did say that the weather might favor the Buffalo Bills. It might just, but we're going to get more into that prediction as well. But the next team they have on here for the wild card teams that's possibly make a Super Bowl run, they got the Philadelphia Eagles on here with their defense. And I might have to agree with this as well because the offense looked like crap last week against the Packers. 22 points for me is not enough the way the Philadelphia Eagles has played this year.
Listen, Philadelphia should have had 70 points in that game.
It should have been a 40 burger.
It should have been a 70 burger in that game. But the Eagles, as they customarily do through the playoffs, through the years, under Coach Nick, how does Cool McCain put it? Nick Sirianni, they keep blanking it up.
Yeah.
I mean,
I understand that Jalen Hurts was out for 2 weeks due to the concussion protocol and stuff of that nature. He's probably a little rusty, sitting out for 2 weeks. You can't practice, you can't do nothing. I get it. And I understand you for me, I feel like they didn't utilize Saquon Barkley like I thought they would, like they did in the regular season.
Right.
And AJ Brown was a non-factor, and we saw the book. We saw the book.
Yep.
But this defense, right? I'm not gonna lie. Philly is the first team to allow 10 or fewer points in 3 straight home playoff games since the 2000 and 2002 Philadelphia Eagles. Jordan Love did throw 3 interceptions. He had no touchdowns,
which exposed who he is,
and with 1 of 3 in the red zone. So, I mean, even though Hurts, Saquon Barkley can pop up at any time, but we knew they were struggling. But that Eagles defense, only thing that I'm really not hoping for, but really wishing that Nakobe Dean didn't get hurt. That guy was having a hell of a year for the Philadelphia defense, 125 tackles.
Yes.
You had the guy, Cooper DeJean, that's having a hell of a year as a rookie. You have I think his name is Jason Bond, if I'm not mistaken, another linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles that's playing well. I think they're going to miss Nakobe Dean, but those two is going to carry the load.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
listen, let me go back to the Buffalo game for a minute. I talked about I referenced the Buffalo Miami game from January of 1991. Okay, I want y'all to listen to these numbers and keep in mind a ton of snow fell at Rich Stadium on that Saturday afternoon in 1991. There was a grand total of 923 offensive yards in that game.
Right.
Jim Kelly threw for 339. Dan Marino threw for 323. Each team had 100 yards rushing, at least 100 yards rushing in that game. Mark Super Duper caught 3 for 113. James Lofton, ready for this, caught 7 for $149 and a score. And of course, there's Andre Reed. He only caught 4 for 122 and 2 scores. Man, and a ton of snow. I'll say it again. And a ton of snow fell on the ground. And these two teams put 923 yards of offense on the board. Make that make sense?
Yes. That's insane. But shout out to Luis Lopez. He did say that it starts with the Philly D line. I
It
mean, with
does.
Darren Davis, Jalen
It does.
Carter, and those boys, I'm not going to take nothing away from them. The reason why those linebackers are good is because of the defensive line. But at the same time, those linebackers can cover
Oh
something
boy.
that defensive lineman can't do. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
boy.
But those linebackers can cover and they can get interceptions and they can go up against some good tight ends in this league they could go one on one with and not be scared to go one on one with. So
Right.
I definitely agree with the defensive line. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis has been in the middle making play after play after play and not letting even
Yep.
though even though Josh Jacobs had 81 yards, you couldn't even tell he had 81 yards how good the front
Right.
line was.
That part right there. That part right there. Josh Jacobs finished with 81 yards, but it was the most quiet 81 yards you'll ever see in a playoff game.
Especially with the type of guy like Josh Jacobs is. So and he's
Mhm.
been healthy all year, you know. So kudos to them. But the Philadelphia Eagles defense, they could take them to the Super Bowl. I think
Yep.
so.
Their defense can hold them enough and take them to the Super Bowl. I agree. I totally agree with that. The offense needs to shape up
Yeah,
or ship out.
yeah. They need that offense need to get it together. But the Washington Commanders, the reason why they capable of going to a Super Bowl run is because of Jaden
Man, give me this
Daniels.
button here.
Jaden Daniels. And
Let me speed this up a little bit.
this is crazy. He's actually playing the whole song, man. That's out of pocket.
Damn straight. Damn straight.
You gotta understand. You gotta do a hockey game later, man.
I might not do it because I'm waiting for my wife to come home. She may be home late, and I need to mess with Eva Mux.
Okay.
I need to spend some time diving into this secret weapon you gave me.
But Jaden Daniels, man, the number 2 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft,
The
had himself
unit, the
a hell of a
unanimous
rookie
rookie,
year.
the unanimous rookie of the year.
I
Period.
I wouldn't say unanimous. It's going to be close.
Unanimous.
It's going to
All
be
right.
close. And I wouldn't
No,
say
it ain't.
unanimous.
No,
The
it
only
ain't.
reason
It's gonna be a
why,
runaway.
let me say this. Only reason why my boy Brock Bowers won't get it because the Raiders are not in it. That's the only
You know why
reason
Brock
why.
Bowers won't get it? You know why Brock Bowers won't get it? And I don't mean this against Brock Bowers. You know I love Brock Bowers. Loved him since his days at Georgia, and he put in a hell of a rookie season. The biggest reason Brock Bowers is not in competition for not just the offensive rookie of the year, but rookie of the year, period. All eyes are on Jayden Daniels, and Jayden Daniels is playing in January. That's it.
We can make a case for Bo Nix then if that's the case. I mean,
Really?
numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. And he took them to
You
the
mean to
playoffs.
tell me,
He
my
took them
good
to the playoffs,
friend,
even though they lost, but
listen,
they got there.
listen, my good friend, my brother, Darion Hopkins, whom I love very dearly, you are actually going to mention the name Bo Nix to me, knowing how I feel about Mo Picks?
I mean, I'm not going to even lie. I we'll talk about Bo Nix in a little bit. We'll talk about that, but
Right.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Jaden Daniels look like a rookie. He doesn't look like a rookie himself
He looks
at
like a
all.
20-year vet. He looks like a
And
20-year veteran.
he definitely gives Washington a shot to make a legitimate run, not
Mhm.
just because of his dynamic playmaking, but also he comes in clutch and crunch time, where we saw multiple times this year in the regular season that Jaden Daniels can do that.
The final
Yes,
drive against Tampa Bay last Sunday night. The
he-
final drive against Tampa Bay
man, yeah.
last Sunday night when the Redskins played it perfectly. Jaden Daniels was flawless on that final drive, got the Redskins to where they needed to be, and they forced Tampa. And remember, when the Redskins got the ball late, Tampa Bay had 3 timeouts. They
That was just
walked
bad
right.
management on Todd
Yep.
Bowles on that.
They
But
walked right down the field and punched him in the gut and made him spend all 3 timeouts. And as soon as Jaden Daniels converted that first down, converted that 3rd and 5 into an extra set of downs. You force Tampa Bay to use their final timeout, and your last snap is a knee to the middle of the field. You use your timeout with 2 seconds left, which they did, and Zane Gonzalez banged it home. Period.
Now I can say this about Jaden Daniels though. He has 6 fourth quarter comebacks, which is most by a rookie quarterback since 1950.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the first quarter to the third quarter, Jaden Daniels' completion percentage is 68%.
When it
He has
comes to
14
the
touchdowns,
money period,
14 touchdowns and 6 interceptions between the first and the third quarter.
when it
His
comes
yards per attempt is 7.2, and his sack percentage is 10%.
and when it comes to the money period,
Now, the fourth quarter, he's 72% completion percentage, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 8.1 yards attempted, only 5% sack percentage.
when I do my play-by-play, I often ask a question, especially when I'm live at the stadium. I often ask, when it's the fourth quarter, what do you call that? It's easy. You call that the money period.
Yeah.
That's the money period. That's where you have. That's the cha-ching. That's the money period.
Yeah.
That's when you go get your money, baby.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think Jaden Daniels could really get the job done. I really think he can, especially with this defense led by the veteran Bobby Wagner. You have to understand, Dan Quinn is over there and coach Bobby Wagner when they won the Super Bowl in Seattle.
Yes.
When nobody gave Seattle a chance to win the Super Bowl that year. When
Not
Dan Quinn was
not a chance in hell.
But they end up winning it, and Dan Quinn got those guys playing with Terry McLaurin playing his best football. You know, their offensive line is playing their best football. That defense is playing their best football. They shut, even though Baker Mayfield had a great year, overall as a quarterback for the Buccaneers, they shut Baker Mayfield down.
Yep. They shut Baker Mayfield down, and they also may have shut him out of a contract extension. Oops, did I say that aloud?
No, I think he already got his contract extension.
Yeah, he did.
Already.
He did. He got it a year ago. He got his contract extension a year ago because they knew Baker was the best choice.
Right.
They knew Baker was the best choice. Listen, I'm so glad Baker got rescued out of Cleveland.
Thank God.
He got rescued from the Cleveland Clowns. End of story.
End of story.
He got rescued from the Cleveland Clowns and now is living his best life in Tampa. 2 consecutive division titles, maybe a third on the way. You got one of the best damn receivers in Mike Evans.
Right.
Equip them with a bell cow running back that can touch the ball 25 times next year, at least 25 times a game. Forget it. Forget it.
But this is I had to say this though. Washington didn't do nothing. Baker was being Baker from that fumble. But Baker had a good game this year.
Baker was off from minute 1.
Yeah, it was just off. I mean, if you didn't look at Mike Evans, and then it wasn't nobody else. That's where Chris Godwin came in. If he would have never dislocated his knee, I think this game probably would have been a different story if Chris Godwin was there. Because if you look at the opposite side of Mike Evans and having Chris Godwin there, you see that offense flow so well with Bucky Irvin.
Here's the other thing about the Tampa Bay defense. They held a 7-point lead with 4 minutes left, and they surrendered 10 points, including the walk-off field goal, in 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
I'm gonna talk about the hottest team in the NFL, though. That's the Los Angeles Rams. That defense. Oh my! Let's just be honest.
I want the Rams.
They have a very young emerging defense.
I want the Rams to go to Detroit. There, you see my prediction. You hear my prediction. Will it happen? We don't know. But that would be great if the Rams were to have a second shot at the Detroit Lions. Now, unfortunately for the Rams, should that happen, they got to go to hell, or as we call it, Ford Field.
Now, when I say emerging for the Los Angeles Rams, because like we're going to get more of this. Like we all know the experience Matthew Stafford on the offense side of the ball.
Right.
You know, it definitely he's the reason why he gives them the chance to go back to the Super Bowl. Their best shot to take them back to the Super Bowl. But
Yeah.
if defense is going to, if they go and play like they played Monday night against the Minnesota Vikings, I'm telling you right now, an NFL playoff record of 9 sacks on Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, like he just, even though he might still get his money,
He was
a
seeing
lot of
ghosts.
teams are questioning that because of the Los Angeles Rams.
He's seeing ghosts. Okay, he's seeing ghosts, just like in New York.
Right.
And Sam Darnold about to be out of there. I'm telling you,
Sam
Darnold about to. Sam Darnold's out of there.
With Kobe Turner had 2 sacks. You had Neville Gallimore with 2 sacks. Byron Young each had a sack and a half. Jarrett Verse is a dog. He's a dog, and he got into action with a fumble recovery and a fumble recovery touchdown and the defensive backs. What's his name? Achilleo Witherspoon. Durant. They were studs. They just shut down Justin Jefferson. But you know where that all started from? Go back to the Detroit game in Week 18. Where the former Las Vegas Raider, the 5'9", 5'10", possibly Amik Robinson, shut down Justin Jefferson, and they took that formula and they implemented it into the Rams defense.
Yep.
And Justin Jefferson was nowhere to be found.
And will not be anywhere to be found next year.
That's true.
Minnesota has been exposed. End of story. The Minnesota Vikings have been exposed, and next year they're going to struggle, even with J.J. McCarthy being their starting quarterback.
And it goes back to the Philadelphia Eagles, because if this Philadelphia Eagles offense don't get it together against this Ram defense coming into Philadelphia, even though the Rams are a West Coast team, they don't like to win in the cold.
If the Eagles don't get their offense together and hang 30 on the Rams, they're screwed. Because the last thing you want to do to a dangerous team like the Rams is let them hang around.
And offensively with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, and now they got Tyler Higbee back, and Kyron Williams is playing. We're going to get so much into that predictions. I cannot wait. I cannot wait at all.
But well, I think we waited long enough. Let's get into them.
Let's get into them right now. Okay, so cool. Would you want to start with the AFC or the NFC?
AFC.
Oh God. So we're going to talk about the 4:30 game. The 4:30 game, ladies and gentlemen, which is the Houston Texans going into Arrowhead against the Super Bowl champions in the Kansas City Chiefs.
51-10. Patrick Mahomes throws for 4 bills, and the Houston Texans defense gets wrecked.
I disagree. I 100% disagree, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Do I want to pick Kansas City to win this game? Yes.
Then go ahead and pick them and get it over with.
I don't, but I'm going to pick them. But
you want Houston to pull the upset?
Be a walk in the park for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because they can be beat at home. Number one.
Oh yeah, they can
be beat at home. And one thing about the Kansas City Chiefs, they forgot about DeAndre Hopkins. They forgot about him. Where has he been? He's been on DeAndre Hopkins Island, just sitting there by himself, not getting nothing thrown to him. If you pressure Patrick Mahomes and you get sacks on Patrick Mahomes and stop their running game, Houston Texans will win this game. But I'm going to the Kansas City Chiefs because they got the red striped refs on their side.
I'll tell you the biggest reason why. I'll tell you the biggest reason why I got the Kansas City Chiefs. His name is Patrick Mahomes.
I get it.
You want to get him down? There's just one problem. Catch him.
They will. They will.
I think Mahomes' jersey stays clean.
No.
All right, let's play higher or lower. I say 2 sacks. That's the number. I say lower.
I say 3. I say 3 because
I'm saying they're going to keep Patrick Mahomes.
What's his name? Jawan Taylor. He sucks. And if you're going up against a Will Anderson, good luck with that.
Yeah, but what if Will Anderson gets picked off by a receiver?
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas City.
The Chiefs love to do that. Hell, I saw it in the dang-gum Super Bowl.
I
with
listen.
my own eyes.
I completely understand. Yes, as a Raiders fan, I don't want to take Kansas City, but
Right.
realistically, I have to take my Raider fandom out of it and be like,
Which
okay,
you can't,
I gotta, I
and
gotta, I gotta take them.
I pick on you about this, and you have often said, and I love you for it, that I got to take my Raider fandom out of this, especially when you do your podcast. And I'm sitting there thinking, ain't no way in hell you're gonna take your Raider fandom out of this. I know you too well.
No,
But
no,
in
no,
this case, yes.
no,
In
I
this
have
case,
to.
yes.
I
Yeah.
have to just because like it says sports talk with Darion. It doesn't say
Right.
Raiders talk with Darion. So I have to be neutral on that.
You know, hey,
Deep
folks,
down in my heart and deep
folks,
down in my soul, I don't want to pick the Queefs. Are you
folks,
serious?
y'all hear him right now, right?
I
He's
don't want to pick
saying
the Queefs.
that
I don't.
he's trying to be
I'm
professional.
trying to
God
be.
bless.
I'm
Listen, God
trying.
bless him. I do the same thing when I do that 49ers show, which will return in full next month. All right, I do the same. When I do Snowman in the morning 5 days a week, I have to stay neutral, even
Right.
though I got this team in the household for my wife, and I got this team in the household for me. And in some cases, I have the Cincinnati Bengals for my daughter Cheyenne. Okay, I know I have to be neutral, but there are especially when Jody walks by and say something when we're talking about the go. You've heard her. You've heard my wife.
Yeah, I heard her.
You've heard my wife. She'll just throw something out of nowhere and just catch me off guard so well. I'll be in here doing a Colts game and I'm concentrating on the game on this monitor in front of me. I got the stats over here. I got a tablet open with more stats so I can make sure it all flows together. This pretty lady will lean over this side of the set and go, "You're not calling the game right, mister." I'm done. I pull the headset off and I'm laughing for 20 minutes. And she'll come by and look at me with those innocent eyes. You're married. You get the idea. She'll look at me with those innocent eyes and goes, "What?" I'm like, "Don't you what me? You know what you did to break me." And her response was just so perfect. She'll go, "Well, call the game right, and I won't have to say anything." And I'm done again. She goes in the room laughing. I'm following her, and I'm laughing my head off.
Happy wife, happy life. Simple as that.
Hey,
Happy wife, happy life.
not only do I make her happy, she makes me happy.
Facts.
All right.
That's how it's supposed to be.
You see this smile on my face, right?
Right.
For as long as you've known me, you see this smile on my face.
Yep.
I've been ridiculed so many times lately, especially doing my sports talk. Like you can't do a full show without bragging about your wife. You're doggone right I can't, because she's as big a football fan as I. Why not?
I mean, she loves sports, so why not? You know what I'm saying?
Why not? Exactly.
Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. But
I stopped trying to make that make sense.
but, Snowman is picking the Kansas City Chiefs. I am picking
the Chiefs.
Well. Okay, so this is the game that I'm very torn between.
I'm not.
The Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. I'm very torn between
44-34 Bills. Josh Allen's the difference.
Snowman Multimedia is his channel. Snowman Multimedia is
okay. Snowman youtube.com/@Snowman Multimedia.
Yep.
That's the first one. And @Snowman Sportsnet is my play-by-play channel, which I'm trying to build. Those are my two channels. 44-34. No. Correct that. 44-41 Bills. It's going to be 1,000 yards of offense between those two.
It's going to be very, very high scoring between.
It's going to be 80 some odd points between those two, and 1,000 yards of. It's going to be 1,000 yards of offense. The Ravens attack on the ground, and the Bills attack through the air. It's what's the phrase that I use most often? It's the irresistible force of the Buffalo Bills offense, meaning the immovable object of the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, this is gonna be the highest scoring game I think this is gonna be the highest scoring game of the playoffs. Watch this.
Both teams have double-digit wins.
Yeah,
Baltimore's
man.
12-5. Buffalo's 13-4.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the NFL's biggest stages to appreciate the setting and the magnitude of this game.
Yes.
Now, what's on the line
has the ball last will win.
it's going to be this for real. This really could be a AFC Championship game if you want to
It
be completely
should
honest.
be the AFC Championship game.
But
I'll say it aloud, and though I picked the Chiefs to beat the Texans, and I've often said to be the champs, you have to unseat the champs. This could be a future AFC Championship game preview between these two. You get Derrick Henry and Josh Allen in the same house.
But you know you have Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are both
In
competing
the same house
for NFL MVP on top of that.
I mean,
You know,
Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. All right? In the same house.
but these two division snowman
At Rich Stadium. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen in the same house, and you ain't got your popcorn ready. You better listen.
You better have your
The leadoff
popcorn.
game
You better
is
have your
Kansas City.
sandwiches. You better have your snacks. You better have your beer.
You better have
your
every
juice.
and I had that game Saturday night, and I believe Jody's going to be well enough to join me because she's been sick the last month, dealing with a cold.
Okay.
Listen,
But these two
I know I have that game,
But
and y'all just might get a treat Saturday night, even if it's just for the first quarter.
no, man, I'll tell you, man. You better do all 4 quarters of that game. Ain't no first quarter.
Listen, now I'm speaking to Jody, okay? Because Jody's in grad school, she's working full time, and a lot of time she's tired. And I get that. Oh, here's a treat for you, Darion. Guess what we're gonna start doing next month?
What?
Taping a podcast.
Oh man. Let me get back to my preview.
If y'all have heard how crazy Jody and I are,
since this man already picked the Buffalo Bills, he already put his score out there. I'm going to break down on why, because like I said, these are two quarterbacks in the NFL, arguably the best 2 quarterbacks in the NFL when it comes to but MVP conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these 2 division champions with the combine of 27 wins between the two. And in 2 steps from a Super Bowl playoff berth.
Yep.
Now, it's going to be frigid in Buffalo. It's going to be at least 20 degrees or under.
I can't say it the way my dad used to say it, but I can't.
And it's going to be like 10 below Fahrenheit. It's going to be a third seeded Ravens.
And there might be snow on the ground.
It just seems like an AFC Championship game that you just with a 28-year-old Lamar Jackson he's taking this playoffs personal.
Very personal.
So is Josh Allen. He's taking it personal because he wants another shot at Kansas City, and so does Baltimore. They both
want a shot at Kansas City.
Exactly. They both
want a shot. They both want a trip to Kansas City.
But I'm telling you, I can't go against Derrick Henry.
I know.
I can't go against Derrick Henry. I'm a former fullback or running back that used to love downhill running.
And you get it.
You understand. I love James Cook as a running back for the Buffalo Bills. I do. Mm-hmm. Josh Allen, MVP caliber.
Yep.
But Lamar Jackson is just different. And I'm going to give kudos to Todd Monken because it's been times that me and you have came on here and said about the arm strength or the accuracy of Lamar Jackson. And Todd Monken
came
and fixed that for Lamar Jackson and gave him his first 4,000 passing yards in his career.
You know what did it? You know what fundamentally did it for Lamar Jackson? Not just his mobility, but I've mentioned this to you, his arm angles. Now, he was able to throw 3 quarters, but a lot of those balls got deflected at the line.
Right.
If you think about it. This year, he's been able to really drop sidearm and fit the ball when he needs to. Not all the time, but when he needs to.
Right.
Right. He has been able to drop sidearm and fit that ball into so many tight spaces, especially with Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers, and those guys.
Zay Flowers haven't practiced all week, but I really think he's going to play this week.
I think Zay Flowers will play. I believe he will play. Get every piece of food that you eat on a Saturday
Facts.
ready for the every snack, every football snack you can think of in January, ready for this one. It's going
Absolutely.
to be a barn burner.
It's going to be a hell of a game, and I
And
I
it could go
kinda
and
wish
it
this
could
was
go either
this
way.
was the AFC Championship game. I
Yep.
really wish this was, but the fact that it's a divisional and hey, it is what it is. All top 4 teams that won a division, it had, all in the divisional round.
Yep.
The Commanders. The Commanders are the only one that didn't win the division because of the Philadelphia Eagles,
The
but
Eagles.
everybody else has won their division. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm taking the Ravens, and Snowman Multi is going to take the Buffalo Bills.
I'm taking the
This is
Bills.
going to be a game. It's going to come down to nail biting.
You know what'd be
Nail
fun?
biting.
You know what'd be fun?
What?
What if this turns into a 50-point game?
If it does, then I'm
What if
down
it's a
for it.
rule? What if it's
If
a
it does, I'm down
rule?
for it.
If it does, I'm gonna have 2 of these full of water.
I'm here for it.
Probably 3. But
So Keith
what if
said
these
Keith Springs me because he's a Baltimore Ravens. And shout out to my boy Keith because he's been with the Spotlight Sports Network when it comes to the beginning of the Spotlight Sports Network back in 2016. He
Yeah.
said himself that the Ravens have the Buffalo's number, KC has Baltimore's number, and Buffalo has KC number. Rock, paper, scissors. That's a good take.
That's all it is.
That's a good take.
That's all it is, man.
And he said that he loved the podcast, bro. You've been putting in so much work. Thank you so much. I'm just trying to make this right, man. That's all. I'm just trying to make this right. And listen,
Sometimes the best move you can make is a move away from your comfort zone.
facts.
And I've had to learn that this week. I've had to learn that this week. How many times, and this happens to athletes all the time. How many times did you make a discovery about something and then you just fall into your wife's arms and let it all out?
Wait. Let me just cut you off real quick. Anthony is Keith, not Key. We know Key is the Eagles fan. Shout out to Key in the building.
Yeah.
My homie. Shout out to Key in the building, but we all know that she's the Eagles
What's up,
fan.
Key? What's up? What's up?
Um,
Shout out to everybody that's been here with us tonight.
Yeah,
But how
shout out to
many times have
everybody.
you discovered something? And this is true with athletes. I've been a broadcaster almost 30 years. How many times have you discovered something about yourself on or off the field, and your wife's there waiting for you, and you just let loose and you let
Oh,
it all out?
I have done that this week.
Same here. Same here.
Because I started my podcast, and I know anybody that was watching earlier in the week, I started my podcast and it was so terrible. I felt unprepared. I ended it. I completely ended it. And that's exactly what I did. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna come back and do this differently. And that's
Yeah.
what I did. I even did this overlay with 30 minutes in. So like 30 minutes before the show. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this quick overlay. Boom. Take it as it is.
And that's why I've pulled the Edmonton, Colorado game off the schedule. 2 reasons. 1, Jody, I'm waiting on my wife
Yep.
because she's probably going to bring dinner. And 2, I got to mess around with this new toy. And like you, and I say that because I want to be prepared come Saturday.
Right.
I want to be fully prepared. I got my lineups ready. I got the depth chart. People who know me and know my style of doing play-by-play, like
Mhm.
one play in, I introduced the offense and defense for the teams that and which way they're playing
Yeah.
and all that kind of good stuff. It's just the old school in me and what I was taught. Here's a name that should be familiar to you. I had Packers radio voice Wayne Larrabee on my program
Yeah. I heard of him.
summer.
I heard of him.
I had Wayne Larrabee on over the summer, and he was my first favorite radio football announcer. My first favorite television football announcer was Pat Summerall.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about that on previous podcasts. Yeah, we definitely did talk about that.
Yep, my first favorite television voice for football was Pat Summerall. A 1A could be Dick Enberg. A 1B is Al Michaels when he did Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Right? For someone asked me this earlier. For basketball, my 1A is the late great Jim Durham, voice of the Bulls.
See, my play-by-play is a little bit different. I'm more like a play-by-play where you can listen to on the radio.
Right.
That's my style of play-by-play when I do it. But everybody play-by-play is different.
Everybody's style is different.
Right.
And Darian, I want to thank you because I tried to coach you in the same style, and and you were like, just hold on a minute and give it a listen, and you'll see the style that I have. And your style works, man.
Yeah, I have like more
You-
of a radio play by
Yeah,
play.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's that. So I
It's
mean, even yeah. So people like it. They like it.
Mhm.
They like the especially when I do when I do the NBA. When I start doing
Oh yeah.
play by play again, they definitely love when I do the NBA play by play.
Oh, your NBA play-by-play is something else, man. I love listening.
I appreciate
I
it.
love listening to it. The hit for me is college basketball. The hit for me is women's college basketball, especially with the success I had last year.
Yeah, I had
Covering
mad
all in the
success
final.
with the I had mad success with the college basketball for March Madness last year, and I had funny thing is I had success with USA basketball even when I did the 3-on-3.
Yep,
I had success with
you
that.
did. You
Um,
did.
so they said this means no man is not doing the hockey game tonight. Am I right?
That would be correct, Jeffrey. That would be correct because Jody came home earlier. My daughter was here. They talked for a little while. I talked with them for a little while. Then Jody had to go out and run an errand. Usually she's back by now, but I got a feeling she stopped and got food. So when she comes in with the food, I'm gonna go rub her feet and I'm gonna eat and then I'm gonna be in a coma.
Yeah, that's probably going. I'm probably going to do the same thing with wifey
I'm gonna
when I'm done
I'm
here.
going to I'm gonna play around with this first. But
I'm still
well,
messing around with it, but I told you, go to YouTube and go to their YouTube channel. It tells you everything. And just to let you know, you ain't got to worry about doing nothing on Streamlabs, OBS, or OBS at all. Because if you ever
they have the
look,
same thing.
if
This has the same thing.
you ever look and you go to like because I know you set up your studio and everything. And I know
Yes.
we go move on a little bit, but
Right.
it has the place where you could put your web source for the scoreboard in
I
this
saw
app.
that.
So
I before I came in here, I saw that and I'm going, okay, this is gonna save me a whole lot of headache.
yes.
Speaking of which, I have a present for you.
Let's go Tennessee. uh,
I've seen
I told
Neyland
myself in
Stadium.
2025, I told myself in 2025 on my bucket list is to get to at least 4 Tennessee Volunteer games. No, matter of fact, I'm gonna make it 6, and I'm gonna tell you why. I need
Neyland
to go to
Stadium.
2 men college basketball games,
Yep.
2 women college basketball games, and I gotta go to 2 football games. Got to.
My
Got to.
goal
Oh, but I might
my
have to
goal
go
is
a
just
baseball
to
game because we the national champions of the college football, college baseball World Series.
that's one series I plan if it's even if it's here in studio, I plan to cover it because I watched Tennessee pull off 3 miraculous comebacks, which I adored. And Tennessee was my team. I followed Tennessee all the way to the finals. Last year, my team was the year before my team was Wake Forest
Right.
because of the folks I knew back in my home in North Carolina. And yes, I may live in Indiana, and yes, we're buying property in Arizona and Oregon. But anybody who knows me knows my other state of choice to live is North Carolina because I wrecked some shop in North Carolina broadcast wise. I made people remember who I was, you know?
Mm.
Um, what else? I had something else for you. I can't find it.
But let's move on to
Let's finish. Let's finish.
let's finish off the playoff bracket predictions. Can't even get it right. I'm speaking out everything.
I
I
get
was
it,
about to,
man.
I was about to say Rocky Top and everything. Like it's crazy. I was so about to say it. I was so about to say
Dude, I've done that. Okay.
it.
I've done that. I've been doing this almost 30 years. In fact, it'll be 30 years in September. It'll celebrate my 30th anniversary. Trust me. Been there, done that.
But let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Los Angeles Rams. Now, this it really is going to come down to the Eagles. No, it's going to come down to the Los Angeles Rams playing in the Colts. No, turn it off. 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 Oh, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that national championship prediction tonight. We will. We definitely will. Actually, that's going to be the next segment after this. So definitely
Yes.
we want to get into
Yes.
the national championship
I
prediction.
got the Eagles, but it'll be very, very close. A turnover either way will decide it. If the
Now,
Rams get the big turnover, they will win the game. But my
Sean
prediction
McVay's
is,
going to have to put on a perfect game as an
yeah,
offensive play caller. He's going to have to put
yep.
on a perfect game, meaning that
My thing is a turnover will decide the game, and it can
Yeah.
go either way with these two teams.
I think both teams have 2 turnovers each.
Mm-hmm.
I think they will, and
It
I'm
depends
going
on
to pick
when
the
it happens.
Philadelphia Eagles as well because number 1 is going to be 32 degrees. It's going to probably be lower than that. It's just snowing in Philadelphia
It's gonna be
right now.
cold come on, it's gonna be cold in Philadelphia.
It's going to be it's snowing right now in
If
Philadelphia.
we're talking about the oldest contrast that anyone who has watched or announced football knows. You're talking about a West Coast team in the Los Angeles Rams with everything that's going on with them emotionally, and shout to those who helped with the wildfires in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
And a shout to those who survived those wildfires in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
If y'all get a chance, donate to the Red Cross and help those folks in Los Angeles get back to normalcy. Okay. But we're talking about a West Coast team coming east to Philadelphia.
Right.
Think about that's the thing. You got a West Coast team coming east to play the early game in Philadelphia.
And you have to think about they have to think about the time because now you're on East Coast time instead of West Coast time. Then you got to get out there earlier. So now your whole routine is going to change for the Los Angeles Rams. Now we know Matthew Stafford played in cold games before, but you got comfortable being in Los Angeles now because of the weather. Understand that. But this is a stat that I think this is why the Philadelphia Eagles is going to win. Saquon Barkley topped the Eagles franchise record with 217 rushing yards that was held by LaShawn McCoy in 2013 with 296 total yards by Deuce Staley in 2000.
Deuce
also had the biggest rushing performance ever against the Rams, exceeding DeMarco Murray with 253 yards when he did it in Dallas in 2021.
Yep.
I'm telling you this right now. Even though the Rams probably won't be able to stop Barkley, but the Los Angeles Rams did allow 353.1 yards per game this season, including 130 yards rushing.
Yep.
Now, this is my thing with the Los Angeles. If you want to make this game competitive, Kyren Williams got to get involved, and you have to protect Matthew Stafford.
You must. Matthew Stafford's uniform, and we talked about it earlier in the show, has to stay clean.
Has to stay clean.
Matthew Stafford
if he could get a great pocket and get those balls to Nakua and Kupp and Higbee and some even DeMarcus Robinson, where he has speed.
Yep.
Going up against C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Darius Slay, Cooper DeJean and Braun and all those guys. I could really see the Eagles winning this game, but the Rams defense going to have to show up as well.
Yeah.
Because if A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith starts to go off, and on top of that with Dallas Goedert, it's gonna be a long day.
Most certainly is.
So I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles as well. I like the Rams, but I just don't think. You think it might be close? I don't know. If the Eagles offense shows up and that defense can get 3 and outs all night,
they have to.
The Rams they're only going to score once this game.
The Rams are one of those teams you can't let hang around. The Rams are one of those teams you just can't let hang around.
Right. You definitely can't let it hang around.
Oh, there's my beauty. Thank you, love.
So,
right on cue.
I'm taking
right on cue.
Though? Oh no.
I'm from Chicago, okay? Listen, when I was broke in Chicago and I scraped up a quarter, lived on this stuff.
Lived on White Castle. How y'all feel? Put it in the comments below. Let me know how y'all feel about White Castle.
Yeah. Let's get the fans vote.
Yeah, let's get the fans going with that. But let's talk about it now since we picked the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Washington Commanders are going into Detroit against the number one team in the NFC.
Hang on to
Detroit
your
Lions.
seat. Hang on to your seats, kids.
This might be another game that could possibly be
Hang on to your seats, folks.
an NFC championship possibility here.
This
It
is
could have been.
This is at least a 40-point game with these two.
Now, I can say the Detroit defense is better than the Commanders' defense.
Mm-hmm.
But who on that defense for Detroit has been to a Super Bowl?
Man, you're going where I'm going. You're going where I'm going.
Dan Quinn knows how to prepare guys to win. Outside of the whole debacle when he was with the Atlanta Falcons, we're not going to talk about
We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that.
I don't think he's going to have that debacle here.
No.
Now, both offenses are energized.
Yes.
Got Terry McLaurin on the Commanders. You have
Scary
Brown in Detroit.
How big was Terry McLaurin for the Redskins in that game against Tampa Bay last Sunday night?
Terry, and another thing, another emerging receiver for the Commanders, De'Ami Brown. He looked good.
Man, he caught 2 big passes. Hello, Lucy Lou.
He had like 7 receptions that night.
He caught 2 big passes on that game-tying drive and then caught a huge third down conversion on the game-winning drive.
Right.
That's great. That's De'Ami Brown and Terry McLaurin are developing into a great duo.
And then you have a veteran that won a Super Bowl in the tight end in Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz did it with Philadelphia.
You know what I'm saying? So when you got Sam Laporta, a up and coming rising tight end.
I love Sam Laporta.
There's so many weapons on both sides of the ball.
Yes.
That is going to look so beautiful. Jahmyr Gibbs, y'all can say what y'all want about Jahmyr Gibbs, but that guy is a dog. And now you're getting Montgomery back this week.
You're getting a double play. You're getting the best running back tandem in football.
And now you have even though you have Austin Eckler that could be your running back out the backfield, on top of having Brian Robinson that be your bulldog.
What are you letting me for?
These offenses are.
Give me a kiss.
Now eat damn sloppy joes.
I am.
No, you weren't. You're talking.
Yes, I'm talking and I'm eating at the same time.
No, you're always.
God.
Get up and eat.
I can't help it.
I can't. But at the end of the day,
you can't what?
I can't with y'all.
I told you.
Leave the lovey-dovey stuff until the camera is off, okay?
I can't help it. My beauty came in with food. I told you.
But like I said before, I think both these offenses.
Look, you're smiling because you know what I'm about to tell you next. Like it hasn't happened to you a couple of times.
Oh, shut up. Oh, shut up. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
That's a short and that's a drop. All right.
Exactly. That's a fact.
All right, let's wrap it up. Lions and Redskins in Detroit. This is 1991 all over again, except it's in Detroit and not at RFK Stadium. It will not be a blowout. The last team to have the ball will win this, and I think it's going to be pretty high scoring. So, as much, doggone it, I'm about to.
They're gonna play chess and play. They go play chess and not checkers.
They're going to play chess. Absolutely, they're going to play chess. You got 2 of the best coaches in the business.
Yeah,
2 of the absolute best in the business.
And the way they turned around these franchises in the years that they did, even though Dan Quinn, this is his first year being a Redskins head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I love what I saw. What's going on play by play with JJ?
Jason Joseph in the house. Jason Joseph in the house with us. Listen, will it be these guys?
He stayed with the musicals, man. I can't. I know who I'm picking. I think I know who I'm picking. I'm picking the Detroit Lions. I don't want to pick against the Commanders.
I don't want to pick it. I don't want to pick against them either. So
I don't want to pick against them, but I feel like experience
pays.
Experience pays. And I
And
think that the Lions learned from last year.
when they got so close in San Francisco,
Exactly. I feel like
and
they I
that
feel like
second half has propelled Detroit all season long, and save a high scoring, we'll have the ball last against the Buffalo Bills.
right.
The Lions have learned. So let's make it official. Both of us are going this way.
Yep, we're both going with the Detroit Lions.
All right, here's the song, folks.
Forward down the field, a charging team that will not yield, and win the blue and silver wave. Stand and cheer the brave, rah, rah, rah. Go hard, win the game. With honor, you will keep your fame. Down the field and gain a Lions victory. Go Lions!
And when I do my setup, I will not have the Commander's helmet. I will have the Redskins helmet in their honor, because within the next couple of years, they're going to change the name. They're going to change the name in the next couple of years. I'm calling it right now.
So I think me and Snowman got all our predictions the same. We both picked the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, we're wrong. You picked the Buffalo Bills.
I picked the Bills and you picked the Ravens.
Ravens.
But it could go. That's a matchup.
Either way, right?
Because and we both said at the top of the program, get your popcorn. No, screw the popcorn. Get every snack on a Saturday night that you can.
Ready.
Saturday night special. Because that game is going to be, no matter who wins, okay? We officially have split in that game. Darion's picking the Ravens. I'm picking the Bills. It could go either way, and it's going to be a 50-point game. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I will happily say I'm wrong, because with a game like that, you will happily admit that you picked the wrong team, especially with Baltimore and Buffalo, which could be later down the road a future AFC Championship matchup.
Absolutely.
It could be a future AFC Championship matchup. That's the only game we
split for Commanders and Detroit Lions.
Yes,
I can say the same for that too.
Oh, I'm definitely saying the same.
We both picked the Lions and we both picked the Philadelphia Eagles. So,
yep.
As of right now, if you want to look at it, we have Kansas City and I'll have Kansas City and Baltimore. You'll have Kansas City and Buffalo in the AFC Championship. Mm-hmm. We both will have the Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles in the championship. And I'm going to tell you, that's going to be a very interesting matchup if that does happen. You have to understand that C.J. Gardner-Johnson was a Detroit Lion last year after he left the Eagles and came back to the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's going to be a storyline in itself.
And remember, C.J. Gardner-Johnson was the one that got burned on that Ayuk deflection last year in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Right off his helmet, and Ayuk was waiting for it.
So that's the ones that we picked there. So hopefully, Snowman Multimedia, I know I'm not going to be able to do the play-by-play Saturday, but hopefully Snowman could do both games on Saturday.
I got you. It's official. I got you.
So, he'll probably do both, both games on Saturday. I'm going to do both games on Sunday.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
We're going to be covered, folks. We're going to cover the games for you.
But let's get into it, man. College football playoff. What a college football playoff overall in itself. The 12-team playoff for me, I thought it was very interesting. I love the way the games went.
I love the fact that the top 4 seeds all got knocked out.
And this is why I love the 12, 12-team playoff. People hated it. Oh, the 4 teams and that.
You know what?
Like, if they would have did the 4 teams again, Snowman, we probably would have saw Alabama again.
Yeah, we probably would have, but at the same time,
Alabama again completed for a national championship.
But at the same time, you probably would have saw Mississippi in the 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
Mississippi could have easily drawn a seed in the 12-team playoff. Why? They knocked off Georgia.
Exactly.
They knocked out. I feel that because Ole Miss knocked off Georgia, Ole Miss should have been at least in the top 7.
Yeah, but when Ole Miss took that bad loss after the Georgia win, that's what knocked them out.
Yeah, and the fact that Alabama lost 3 times during the season, which is a rarity, that knocked them out.
That knocked them out I had a feeling that they was going to find a way to get them in the playoff. They
were looking for it. The only way that Bama was getting in the playoff, they had to play for the SEC championship, and
Yeah.
they did. And they
But
did.
well, that's not true because Tennessee didn't play for the SEC championship and we got in, but we had less losses than them, and then we beat them on top of
Y'all
that.
beat
So,
Alabama in Knoxville.
yeah,
I'm saying it the way
when I tell
my
you,
granddaughter said it.
it brings music to my ears when we beat
I listened to that
Alabama.
I listened to that radio call. Listen, I listened to
Lord
that radio call.
Jesus.
I
It's
listened to that.
like I won $1 million when we beat Alabama.
Yep. I listened to that radio call for Tennessee, and all I can think is the late great John Ward, who was the voice of Tennessee football for many, many years,
Right.
would have gone berserk.
Right. But let's get into this national championship, and I think the right two teams, rightfully so.
I believe the right two teams are playing for the title.
And people might say, oh, Notre Dame didn't play nobody because they're not in a conference and stuff of that nature. Screw that. They had to go through the 12-team playoff like every other team that was in that playoff, and they knocked off the teams that was given.
And because of the fact they're not affiliated with a conference for football, that gave them even a bigger chip on their shoulder to show that they belonged in the playoff. They knocked off Indiana by 10, knocked off Georgia by 13, right? I know I skipped around. In the first round, they beat Indiana.
Right.
The next round,
they beat Georgia.
So I did get it right. They beat Georgia, and then Penn State. The miracle against Penn State when Penn State stupidly threw the ball with 90 seconds remaining, trying to they threw the ball.
But this is what makes me mad about people who's talking about Notre Dame, right? They say, oh, they didn't play nobody. Texas A&M was ranked 20th when they played them. Let's be real. Louisville was ranked 15th when they played them.
You play who's on your
Navy was 24th when they played them.
And they kicked them square in the rear end. I did that game.
Even the Army team was ranked 19th. And then you got to think about it. USC was on a winning streak.
And then they ran into
Notre Dame.
And then they ran into, you know what? I'm going to give you my pick right now. Hit it, fellas.
Wake up the echoes cheering her name. Send the volley cheer on high. Shake down the thunder from the sky. What though the odds be great or small? Oh, Notre Dame will win overall. While her loyal sons are marching onward to victory.
Now you make me want to watch Rudy. You make me want to watch Rudy now. You make me want to watch Rudy now. But if we want to talk about schedule, right? Man.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State had one of the weakest schedules in college football. I don't care what nobody say.
I don't want to talk about Ohio State. I mean, Jack Sawyer.
It's the national championship.
Jack Sawyer made a hell of a play. Look, Jack Sawyer single-handedly ended Texas's dreams for a national championship with that 82-yard.
They ended my dreams to advance and to volunteer. So when it comes down to their regular schedule for Ohio State, right? They play Akron, Western Michigan, Marshall, Michigan State, Iowa. Or they ain't play a ranked team until what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till week 7. That was against Oregon, and they lost.
And they lost by a point.
They beat Nebraska. Of course, they beat number 3 Penn State. They beat Purdue. They beat Northwestern. They beat number 5 Indiana, and then they lost to Michigan at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, it was weak.
But
it was weak for Ohio State.
You can say it's a weak schedule, and I agree with you. It's a weak schedule all day long. The fact is, the voters saw fit to put them in, and now Ohio State's proven themselves.
I'm not gonna lie, they have been playing way better football than we've seen all season. I'm not gonna sit there and lie. When they got into the playoff, they was like, "Oh, we're showing everybody, wow, we can get to the national championship." And that guy Jeremiah Smith, he's a dog.
Oh.
He's the best receiver. Best freshman receiver in college football.
It's going to be a battle of Jeremiahs. You have wide receiver Jeremiah Smith for Ohio State,
And
and
he
you
had the
got
running back
Jeremiah
Jeremiah Love.
Love for Notre Dame. Nope. Jeremiah Love is nasty.
He is nasty. He is.
Jeremiah Love is nasty.
And the fact that people say that, even though they redeemed themselves, and I'm one thing I can say about Ohio State, they redeemed themselves. They beat the number 9 Tennessee, which is my squad.
And they
My
kicked
team started off slow.
and they beat the hell out of
Out of
Oregon.
They killed Oregon.
They kicked their ass.
They killed Oregon. When I say when it comes down to, Oregon, mind you, Oregon had the home field advantage.
Oregon
Rose Bowl.
they didn't have to go far. Look at this. They didn't have to go far, right? They only had to travel from Eugene, Oregon to Pasadena, California.
Which is not that long.
It's not that long, 2-hour flight. Ohio State had to come clear across the country 3,000 miles from Columbus, Ohio to Pasadena, California, and Ohio State put a foot in their ass.
Sure did.
That's as simple as it gets. Ohio State put a foot in their ass.
And Sawyer, the linebacker from Ohio State, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Luke Kuechly. He gives me the style play of Luke Kuechly, and I love that about him because he's so humble. And he probably didn't want to do that to Quinn Ewers
He made the biggest. Listen, Jack Sawyer between the lines made the biggest play of the game against his old
game 7 match after that.
Okay, I lost my mind when I saw Jack Sawyer make that play because I did the live call for it. I lost my mind after that play. I ran into my bedroom and my wife was listening to me, and she had the same look in her eyes that I had in mine.
Right.
And she says, "Are you bleeping kidding me?" I'm like, "Baby, I saw it, and I still can't believe it." Right. Then I had to run back in here because I only had a 2-minute break. I ran back in here, finished the game, shut everything down. I ran back in the room. And my wife looked at me and said, "Do you know how much fun you have calling the games?" I'm like, "This is what I do."
Now, I got a question for you, though. And do you feel like Ryan Day has, took the monkey off his back about losing in big games? Because the only reason why I say he did, because understand that when it comes to Michigan, that Michigan game, that game could have went either way. They didn't get spanked, but they lost. But it was just it was just a bad game from both teams.
They lost at home.
They beat in the playoff, like they beat the Tennessee, they beat Texas, they beat who else did they beat? I forgot who it was. So it was Tennessee, Oregon in a clapback, and beating Texas.
It was a major clapback.
10.
That was a major clapback because they beat the absolute hell out of Oregon. They hung 34 points on them in 30 minutes.
So I'll give Ryan Day his credit because those 3 teams could have demolished his teams. They could have.
You know why I say he hasn't taken the monkey off his back? Finish the job.
That's all you got to do. He got to finish the job. And you know what? I don't think he will, though. But I don't think the monkey.
I don't think he will either.
I don't think he will. Close. I feel like Marcus Freeman
is ready.
He's ready, and it's gonna be a lot of emotion with him because he played at Ohio State.
Yes,
but Marcus Freeman, and people can quote me on this, and I do not care what people say when I
say it real.
And as a Tennessee fan, I gotta respect Marcus Freeman. He's the most well-prepared coach
in the country
in college football.
In the country.
You cannot tell me a better well-prepared coach than Marcus Freeman right now. How the way he turned that Notre Dame team around after Brian Kelly left for LSU.
And after he lost to Northern Illinois at home. They haven't lost in 3 months.
They haven't lost in 3 months. And you got to think about it too. When it comes to Riley Leonard, that kid is tough. But on the flip side of things, Will Howard is tough too.
Will Howard's a tough cookie.
They have like similarities at the quarterback position because Will Howard, he looks more like a pocket passer.
Yep.
but he can run the ball when
He
he
can
needs
scramble.
to.
Yep.
And
He can
that's how I feel about Riley Leonard. I want to see more passes from
Yep.
Riley Leonard. I don't want him to be worn down by the QB runs because this Ohio State front is
Yep.
going to try to crack down on Riley Leonard.
Yep. This is the front. This is the challenge that Notre Dame wanted since Northern Illinois.
Facts.
All they've been saying is let us in the playoff and let us prove what we can do. And I said at the top of the season, you were one of many that were with me and saw me post this. When they expanded the 12-team playoff, the first thing I said was the wildest of the wild cards is Notre Dame because they are not affiliated with a conference for football.
And they feel like a lot of people feel like Notre Dame shouldn't be in the playoff because they didn't have a conference
exactly
a conference championship. Notre Dame had have a conference championship in how many years now? And y'all still complaining about that? It's not going to change. I would love to see Notre Dame compete in a conference just to see how it would be. But I just don't think that's going to happen because traditionally I don't think it's going to happen.
Listen, I'll tell you another reason that's not going to happen. That's $20 million going out the window. Think about it. Think about it. Every bowl that Notre Dame has played in this year was a huge payout. And the greatest thing is, and I've been saying this since I was 7 years old when I first got hooked on following Notre Dame.
Right.
They don't have to split it with anybody in a conference.
When you bring money into college football, into college sports, this is why Notre Dame is not in a conference when it comes to football. Now, basketball, they are in conferences, but football,
ACC.
no.
They're in the ACC.
Yeah,
but you know who benefits off of football? It starts with the students.
Yep.
Then it goes to the coaches, and then it goes to the facilities and everywhere around South Bend. I've been to Notre Dame's campus. I was there in 2008 when I did a baseball game, and they were doing some reconstruction on that. You know what paid for that? Football money. And they didn't have a great season.
That's the truth.
They didn't. 2008, they didn't have a great season. But the football money they made from the broadcast deal that they have exclusively with NBC, and they've had it since 1990, that paid for the upgrades to Notre Dame Stadium, to the baseball park, to what is now known as Purcell Pavilion, which was the Joyce Athletic Center for so many years.
Right.
Football paid that. And now that they're filtering in money from a great football season, right, where they hosted Tennessee, made a ton of money off of that with 82,000 people, right?
Right.
At home. 82,000 people, and they got to keep every single penny.
But let's wrap this up. I think we already went with our predictions.
Notre Dame.
And I am picking Notre Dame to win by field goal. I think Riley Leonard gets them down the field and gets them into field goal range and kicks the game-winning field goal for the national championship.
I say 34-28 Irish. They'll make a defensive stand to win the game.
Okay.
It's going to be 34-28 Irish. Riley Leonard will take him downfield and get the lead, and the defense will do the rest.
All right, so let's since we have our prediction out here, I just want to announce this. I was supposed to announce it in the beginning because I know we had technical difficulties and everything of that nature. I even had technical difficulties as well.
Right.
Now, I want to give a shout out to Miss Stock. She is one of the teachers that works at my job. She messaged me today, and she asked me today, and she was like, because they call me Mr. D at the job. So
nice.
And she was like, Mr. D, you got plans this weekend. I said, what you mean I got plans this weekend? What are you talking about? All I know I got plans with my wife on Saturday. I know
exactly. Exactly.
So I'm sitting here, and she tells me about this sneaker convention that's going on in Philadelphia at Wells Fargo this weekend. And I'm like, okay, let me go check it out and stuff of that nature. So it's called, Just Nice Sneaker Convention.
Right.
And, the Philadelphia Wings is playing that night. The Philadelphia Flyers are playing that night. Very interesting. Love it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. And only reason why she said that she's gone because her boyfriend sells vintage sports clothes.
Nice.
And she know that I love sneakers and she know I love vintage stuff. So she invited me. I'm like, you know what? Do he have an Instagram? She sent me his Instagram. And I sent him a message about me throwing my live podcast down there.
Yeah.
And he told me yes. So on Monday, which just starts at 12 until whenever, I'm gonna have me a slot in Wells Fargo Center, live from Wells Fargo Center, doing the sports talk with Darion, bringing fans on,
Love it.
talking about, mind you, this is the day after the Philadelphia Eagles play on the 19th. This is on Martin Luther King Day.
Martin Luther King Day in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia. So please, just look it up. Just Nice Sneaker Convention.
See,
JSNICE
I got the perfect
Convention.
sound for him. I got the perfect sound for you. When Darion was voluntold, not volunteered, but voluntold that he had plans, Darion said,
What in the
I had it low. Try again. Darion said,
what in the all types of blue hell?
are you talking about?
But yeah, man. So this is an opportunity to get out my comfort zone and do a live stream.
Good.
Bringing the sports and sneaker culture together.
Yep.
And I have to give him a call probably tonight or tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be bringing the equipment. I'm gonna have fans come on and make their predictions for the conference championships. Talk about, most of the Eagles fans probably gonna be down there too, so they're gonna talk their stuff too. We just gonna talk, we just have a good time. It might be like an hour and some change, like it is right here, but that's basically it, y'all. I will be at the Just Nice Sneaker Convention at the Wells Fargo Center in
He's
South
so
Philly.
excited he can't even say the word correct.
Yes, I'm so excited about it so make sure y'all go check it out. Follow him on Instagram as well at Just Nice Sneaker Convention. You will see all the information there with the Philadelphia Flyers and the Philadelphia Wings. Make sure y'all go check that out. But
I'll leave y'all with this. When I was doing play-by-play in Chicago for Whitney Young High School, Marcus Jordan was playing with them, and it was his second game. And my partner Paul said, "What if the king himself shows up?" I said, "I don't know if he'll be here." And of course, my brain was wrong, because my brain was thinking he'll be here. He's a proud papa. So it's halftime. Paul's doing a halftime interview. I go over to say hi to the principal, Dr. Joyce Kenner.
right.
And number 23 walks up.
Mm.
I was also doing the public address, and he stuck out his hand and he goes, "Nice job." I melted like a stick of butter. I got up. I dusted myself off. MJ gave me that trademark smile. I walked back across the court to my broadcast position. Paul looked at me and said, "Do you know who you just shook the hand of?" I said, "You don't have to tell me. I already know." And he goes, "You're not saying anything for the third quarter, are you?" "Hell no, I'm not saying anything."
no.
Matter of fact, let me throw this on. Brian, are you talking during the third quarter since you met the king himself?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Listen.
I sat there for the entire third period. I did the PA announcements, no problem. But me doing play-by-play as well as PA for the third period after shaking the hand of the greatest basketball player ever? Hell no. You can't make me. Nope.
Right, you can't make me. Absolutely.
Nope.
Absolutely not. But
I told Mom, and I thought my mom fainted.
she says,
"Who?" She says, "You met who?" I said, "Does the name Michael Jordan mean anything to you?" She hung up. She hung up. I'll give you all this quick one before we get out of here. Speaking of names, was doing a baseball tournament in Chicago, suburban Chicago.
Yeah.
And I had a kid by the name of Ryan Sample. All right. Keep that last name in mind. His mom approached me and said, I got a hell of a story for you. Her mom said, don't tell him. He'll run with it. Don't tell him. So I'm thinking, okay, now I'm curious. She starts telling me about how she met her husband and everything. And when you hear stories like this, you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Now, keep in mind, the kid's last name is Sample. Her last name is Sample. In the middle of her explanation comes this sentence, because my maiden name was Seaman. Dude, I was under the table roaring.
I'm gonna mind my business on that one.
Victor
I'm
came
gonna mind my business on that
fly-
one because my mind is
listen,
somewhere else. I don't even want to talk about that.
Victor came flying over and thought something was wrong with me because I had tears down my face. And then he realized I was laughing. And he said, why are you laughing? I will tell you later. My home plate umpire, Zach, peeled off his mask and tears were streaming down his face. And I said, did you hear? And he turned around and stopped me and he said, I heard every single word. That was 2007. 6 years later, getting ready for a game with Trinity International in Deerfield. Olivet Nazarene was their opponent. They sent me their depth chart, and the starting quarterback was none other than Ryan freaking Sample. I'm like,
Damn.
oh, hell no. This can't be right. So I did an hour worth of extra research. You're a madman when it comes to research when you get ready for your games. You want to be
Yeah.
fully prepared. I did an hour worth of extra research. And if I see a connection between him and Mantino, Illinois, I'm gonna faint. I saw the connection.
Wow.
I called Victor and I said, you ain't gonna believe this ish. He says, what? You know, I'm preparing for Olivet Nazarene and Trinity International on Saturday. Yeah. Want to know who Olivet Nazarene's quarterback is? Who? Does the name Ryan Sample mean anything to you? Victor hung up. I get to the stadium, knowing what I know, knowing I could see his mom at any point in time during the game in the stadium. I'm thinking to myself, how the hell am I going to do this radio call with the video feed and not laugh every time I say Ryan Sample? He decided to mess with me and he threw the ball 51 times.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't say a word. I packed up my stuff. I climbed down. I shook his father's hand. I gave him a hug. I walked out. I got to my car and lost it.
But we at the the witching hour.
Yeah, we better get out of here.
Of this show, wifey is waiting for me. She's waiting for
Yep.
me out there. I'm not gonna sit there and lie to you, but
You better go, and
Yeah,
I better eat my
but,
dinner.
episode in the books of Sports Talk with Darion. We're definitely here, definitely live. Snowman Multimedia every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure y'all go check that out. That will be on Sports Talk with Darion and Snowman Multimedia. So make sure y'all check it out on both of those platforms. If you are listening to this on any audio platform like Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, you name it, it will be on Sports Talk with Darion. We definitely will have that everywhere on all audio platforms. And make sure y'all subscribe to both channels. Subscribe to Snowman Multimedia. Subscribe to Sports Talk with Darion and the Sports Wire. The Sports Wire is my second play-by-play channel. So make sure y'all go check that out over there. We greatly appreciate it. Social media, Sports Talk with Darion. Y'all can just look it up on, social media. You'll see it. Same thing for Snowman Multimedia as well. And we thank y'all. Predictions is done. College football is done. A little bit NFL news, a little bit just conversational talk as well. Just what we do over here,
What we do.
Keep it 100% raw and uncut. So, Snowman, anything else before we head out of here?
Thank you all very much for accepting me into this community. Thank you, Darion, so very much for having me as your co-host. I truly appreciate it, and I truly appreciate the fans, especially when I do the play-by-play on your channel and they come in and they chop it up with me. I appreciate you guys very, very much. I love y'all, and thank you.
Have a blessed night, and we'll see y'all on the other side. We'll see you Monday. Most likely, it's a possibility. If Snowman's up for, we could do an instant reaction of the whole weekend of divisional. Just
right after I sign off.
we'll
Right after I sign off with my play-by-play, you're on.
All right, say no
Right.
more. So we'll have that instant reaction right here on the Sports Talk with Darion and Snowman Multimedia. You don't want to miss it. We see you on the next live stream and the next video. Peace out, love and blessings, and we're out of here. Peace out.